do we have on Best 20 TV today?
Jaquan McCullough, the founder of McCullough Elite Training.
What's McCullough Elite Training? What is that?
McCullough Elite Training is a sports agility, strength and conditioning program, help to better the youth in Rochester, New York, and the surrounding areas.
And what made you start this program?
Well, growing up, I didn't have this until the 10th grade. I feel like the more programs there are, the better for the kids. I grew up in the CTC program, starting from 10th grade, and I feel like the more programs, like I said, the better.
Let people know what the CTC program is, because
they teach kids life skills.
As in, like what? What type of life skills?
How to dress as a young man, how to act in public, how to keep friends, things that young men and women should know, growing up, social skills.
And how did that help you, and what made you want to do that to the next generation?
Like I said, I didn't learn till 10th grade, so I gotta give back to the kids, and it helped me because I got through college, when I was doubted a lot, through high school when I was doubted the most, came out with a degree on top, man, made a lot of great connections.
You talk about being doubted in high school. Talk about some of the obstacles you had to go through, because I remember at one time, I think you went to school without walls, right?
Yeah.
And they have a system where it's pass or fail system.
Right.
And NCAA didn't accept that.
Yeah.
Talk about that. What happened in that situation?
So the school that I went to, school without walls, they didn't do grades. So a regular traditional school would have A, B, C, D, and F. We only did pass or fail, which means that the clearinghouse recognized every pass that I had as a letter grade D, which is failing, and a 1.0, which you need a 2.0 at the time to qualify for the clearinghouse to play Division I and Division II sports. I believe I was the first person that ever happened to. It made a lot of news outlets, and I didn't want that to happen to anyone else, so that was the most important part about it. I had Division I offers, and obviously I made.
From what schools did you have Division I offers from?
St. Francis and Wagner.
All right, so now that you, because of the NCAA policy, you couldn't go to a Division I school. What did you do?
Well, I ended up going junior college to Nassau Community College down in Long Island. I went to Erie Community College down in Buffalo, and then I went to West Liberty University in West Virginia. I made the best out of everything that I had. I knew I couldn't give up. There's no way I could give up when I know there's people watching me. We influence people as athletes, and the most important part is, helping the the younger generation after you.
Okay. Many times for people, right, once they get that one obstacle, especially as an athlete, they just tend just to give up. What made you want to keep grinding?
Like I said, I know I influence a lot of people. My energy alone, and I'm being humble, but I couldn't give up on the youth.
Why didn't you turn to the streets like most athletes and stuff like that?
Well, we all had our time, but I just knew I couldn't beat her. Just seeing the people that came before me, like the older cousins and brothers, etc., that went through the system, and I just couldn't be that. Why repeat history? That's
a fact. So I know one thing you always had was good grades. What made you be able to be a student athlete? Many times there's people being athletes and not a student athlete. What kept you motivated?
Just being more familiar with, my situation, and knowing that in order to play Division I and Division II sports, you have to have a certain GPA and a certain SAT score. So, that alone is motivation, and it reminds you daily. My support system, I could never forget that. My mom, just family in general.
All right. So let's talk about your football career a little bit. At School Without Walls, what positions did you play, and what sports? Well,
I played for Wilson. I played quarterback, wide receiver, safety, punter, kicker, everything, you name it. Yeah, I also played basketball for School of the Arts my junior year, I believe it was.
And what made you choose football over basketball? What about football was exciting to you?
It was just the love of the game. Like my little bro Isaiah Stewart right there, he on live. I ain't know how to do the drills, but I still whoop him though, 7-zip. He know.
So with football, what was your favorite position to play?
Wide receiver. That's what I had scholarships for.
Why is that? Why wide receiver?
I was just able to go up top of people and take the football out their hand.
What would you say was your favorite play?
Fade route. It was called the McCullough Special.
What's that?
So the quarterback say go, 3-step drop and throw the ball up, and I just take the ball out somebody's hand.
What would you say is the best play of your high school career?
Probably a play versus Isaiah Live, but McQuaid. I had a play, I was scrambling all over the place before the half and threw like a 60-yard bomb to the goal line and then got us in the end zone the next play.
Okay. So when you got to college, did you continue on your wide receiver position, or did you have to change?
I changed, so they moved me to safety, and that's where I want the youth to understand that adversity is something you're gonna have to go through. I played wide receiver, had scholarships for wide receiver, and then at a lower level, they moved me to corner, safety, even outside linebacker. And then I got to West Liberty, played wide receiver after JUCO, and then I got moved back to cornerback.
So I know, like, just 2 years ago, you received another Division I scholarship. Talk about that.
Well, it's Division II, West Liberty University, but it's a scholarship, you know.
That's true.
And I just want to make it known that it doesn't matter if it's Division I or Division II. You know, you get the scholarship, and even if you go Division III, that's the experience.
So in college, what major were you studying?
Criminal justice. So I received my criminal justice degree.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What made you choose criminal justice?
Well, I feel like in the system in Rochester, New York, I'm just be brutally honest, there's not enough African American males, to be specific, that are able to influence, you know, the youth. As I stated in my previous news interview, children usually more, you know, vulnerable to listen to people who they can relate to. That's how I was, so I could, you know, relate.
So I know just like last week you threw a event, the McCullough Elite Training.
Yeah.
He was sponsored by somebody. Talk about that.
So I want to thank Anthony Jordan, the Rochester City School District, for helping me throw the camp, Changing the Community, CTC. Also, Be Healthy Fresh Food Market. So the camp was just about, you know, getting kids familiar with faces that come from the same places they did. I brought 2 of my NFL friends because I knew that them seeing NFL people when they're being doubted every day in school, that, you know, it's 1% chance and et cetera, that, you know, it's possible. More importantly, to give back to the youth that come after them, you know, getting them familiar with the NCAA clearinghouse so they won't have to go through the things that I went through. So that was most important for me.
Who were the 2 NFL players you brought?
Eric Armstead and Farrell Brown.
And talk about your relationship with them.
I met those guys a couple years back. They're good guys. I actually went out to San Jose with Eric to go to one of his games. Same with Farrell. I took 2 of my young kids that I kind of like mentored, Desi Floyd and Ricky Gamble, that, you know, current Wilson players.
And why would you recommend like a parent to sign his child up for your program?
Well, I mean, we teaching not only life skills, but we teaching training. I'm fresh out of college, so I got, you know, that fresh memory on what it takes to get there, how hard you have to work, etc.
What type of training would you do?
So we got weights, strength and conditioning, agility, combine prep. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And there's one thing you want all kids to take away when it comes to your camp. What is that?
That giving back is most important when it's your time to give back, and that grades are the most important thing out of everything.
All right. So one thing you did do, like most people don't do, is give it back to the community. What made you choose, like, I might give back to my community, I want to start a program?
I mean, I'm from the trenches, man. You got to give back. You're from the trenches. If you know what it's really like in the trenches, you got no choice but to give back.
Talk about the day that the NFL players came. How was it in here?
Oh, man, the energy was great.
Yeah,
the Boys and Girls Club, actually, I want to shout them out, too. The smiles on their faces, like they see 6'7", 6'8" guys. They're like, what team you play for? They don't even know who they playing for. Even the news reporters was excited. They mixed the guys' names up, called Farrell Brown, Eric Armstead. It was just like so much going on, but it was so much positive energy. And I just saw smiles from every child face, and I was happy.
How often do you plan on doing this?
At least once a year, but I got something in the summer that I got some working on with some basketball guys too that I don't want to drop yet. But
so you also gonna be like helping kids work out on basketball skills and stuff like that?
So I got some people for that. They got their own lane, I got mine, but we're gonna combine. I don't want to get too far in depth, but.
So what could we see in the future from MET?
So obviously some scholarship athletes produced. Some more camps with different NFL players that I've met throughout my career. Even some more mentorship. I'm going to add a tutoring component to the program as well, you know, to help with grades.
I know the age range on the last event was 7 to 13. Is that ever going to expand? Is it ever going to be like for like high school kids? Are you ever going to...
Yeah, so my next event, like I said, for the summer one will probably be for kids like, you know, 12 to 17, 12 to 18, going on to college, and some just entering high school or middle school, just so they could get an understanding of, you know, what it looks like from the kids that are older than them. I always want a wide range like that so they could understand and learn from those that are older than them.
One thing I heard in one of your interviews, like I think it was Channel 13, you said you don't feel like roster athletes get enough credit or like enough like publicity. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, in most places when you come home, like I got some bros in the NFL, when they go home, they get the key to their city, or you know they throwing camps and it's fully sponsored by their city. I kind of got it out the mud this time. I mean, I had some help from a couple guys, and I appreciate that. But you know, it should be no cost at all to me for helping the children.
So, what's your main motive, bro? I know you say you want to people. You don't want people to go down the same route as you, but what else is there for you?
So I think I'm really big on just giving back to the youth that come after you. Not for only me, but the people that were ahead of me, the people that's after me, and the people that's after them. Just passing it on generationally.
Another thing that I see is this could help like kids like stay out the streets. What do you think about that?
Yeah, of course. Shoot, but after school, you got a lot of time on your hands. So if you come, like I said, add the tutoring component, you do your work, and then you train. By that time you drain, you go home, and it's the next day.
Do you plan on just keeping this in Rochester, New York, or do you plan on going like Buffalo, Syracuse?
I plan on expanding. I'm not sure about the surrounding areas. If so, I'll just keep it here. But I do plan on moving it to Charlotte.
Why
North
Charlotte?
Carolina. Charlotte is a great city with great energy.
You just finished up your senior year at West Liberty. Talk about your season there.
Well, I had a decent season. It ended halfway through the season that I probably wouldn't like to talk about, but it was pretty cool experience, scholarship, so I can't complain.
What's the one thing you took away from college? Other than like what did it help you out with?
Your network is your net worth. The people you know is how much you're worth.
What does that mean? Explain. Go more in depth on that.
So if you know millionaires, you a millionaire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory.
So let people know how they can get in contact with you and how they can sign their kids up for the next event.
Well, the best way to get in contact with me is through Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. My Facebook is McCullough Elite Training. My Instagram is 10ENSION. So that's the best way to get in touch with me.
All right. Another thing is you got verified Instagram. Talk about getting verified.
Oh man, getting verified on Instagram is a blessing, man. It just gives me a bigger platform. Obviously kids look up to that. That has influence on it. So, I'm just using that to the best of my ability to be able to reach more kids.
Where were you when you found out you got verified on Instagram?
I was asleep, bro. I woke up to a lot of texts, man. I didn't know what was going on.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, congratulations.
Appreciate it, bro.
Could you shout out Best Point of View TV for the interview?
Hey, man, I want to shout out Best Point of View TV, man. They the greatest, man. They the GOATs out here, man. Get with them.
and tribulations. I'm just trying to live my life, hoping I make the right decisions, cause I wanna live it right. I remember nights, no sleep, feeling weaker than 7 days. Now I'm using my clever ways to make sure my songs getting played. But these niggas doubt me, they think I'm not gonna make it. But soon I'm gonna be rich and happy, that girl getting naked. I promise you I'm the best, Supreme Nakshi. I'm on the rise, smoking dope and I'm getting high. Spirit she floating to the sky. I wonder, is they gon' think I'm a joke because I'm a youngster? Going for the green and they probably stunk in the bunker. I gotta make it, cause being broke is not really my comfort zone. I kill competitors.